welcome to the grand final of the Chance Factor. After weeks of whittling it down, we are left with the best 4 contestants. There are Percy Spencer, who invented the microwave oven. Quite a fan, actually. Your second contestant is the inventor of fireworks, a cook from China. Also here tonight is Richard Jones, the inventor of the slinky. Last but not least, we have Wilhelm Rotterdam, who invented the X-ray. He's fresh from the lab. Now, let's introduce you to the judges. Please welcome Alexander Fleming, Albert Einstein, and as your head judge tonight, Sir Isaac Newton, who just happened to discover gravity by chance. Now, let's hand you over to the head judge to explain the rules.
Thanks, Mary. Now the rules. As you all know from watching previous episodes of this show, each competitor has to give a short performance on what makes their discovery special. Obviously, they must have been discovered by chance. The judges will then give their comments, and the score will be decided by a roll of the dice. The highest overall score you can get is 18, and the lowest is 3. The final grand prize will be selected by a lucky dip. Back to Mary.
Now introducing the first act, Percy Spencer!
Hi, I'm Mrs. Spencer, and I must say, I'm just honoured to be here. I never thought I'd make it this far. My invention is the microwave oven. Now, in 1946, I was working for the Raytheon Corporation. I was working with magnetrons. A magnetron is a high-powered vacuum tube. I get a bit peckish around midday, so I packed a candy bar in my pocket. Suddenly, I found it had melted. After a bit of experimenting, I realised that microwaves could cook foods quickly, even faster than conventional ovens which cook with heat. This worked because microwaves use radio waves set at a specifically set frequency to agitate the water molecules in food. When the molecules get agitated, they generate heat. This is the heat which cooks the food. I think my invention should win because it's helped millions of people around the world cook foods easily. Thank you for listening.
Wow, how interesting. I never knew microwaves could be so complex. Now over to the judges. Mr. Einstein first, what did you think of that?
That was brilliant. I loved how you presented it and you told us the story behind the microwave. I really warmed to your presentation.
I agree that it was good, but I would like a bit more detail.
That was sizzling. I absolutely loved it, darling. You told me everything about microwaves. Completely superb.
Thank you, judges. Now for the scores. Einstein, please.
It's a 4.
Great score. Mr. Fleming next.
It's a 5.
Awesome. Now Mr. Newton.
It's a 6.
So, Mr. Spencer, your overall score is 15. What do you think of that?
Oh, it's superb. It's great.
Now, introducing our second act, the cook from China who discovered fireworks.
Hello, I'm a chef from China. Thank you. I have travelled far and wide to be here. Now, a while ago, I was mixing up some ingredients in my kitchen. I just happened to put together a bit of charcoal, a bit of sulphur, and a bit of saltpetre. Of course, they were all common ingredients back then. When I compressed the mixture in a bamboo tube, it exploded. The reason this happened is because the saltpetre supplies oxygen, while the charcoal and sulphur act as fuel. Placed in a container like my bamboo tube and touched by a flame or spark, it explodes. I will now perform a rap I wrote about my invention. I was cooking in my kitchen late one night when my mixture gave me a terrible fright. I was mixing up some food, I was in my groove. Put in some charcoal, saltpetre and sulphur. When I put it in a tube of bamboo, it went boom, woo! Thank you for being awesome.
Cool. Who Who knew so much effort went into bonfire night? Judges, your comments, please.
Wonderful, darling, wonderful. You really made me feel like I was in a Chinese-filled kitchen. I loved it, darling.
Thank you, Alexander. Mr. Newton next.
That was quite good. I would like a little bit more information on how the ingredients work together, but it was very good.
Thank you. Now, Einstein.
That was a rather good presentation, though I've never been too keen on fireworks, as they tend to scare my kitten.
Okay, now the scores, please. Mr. Fleming.
It's a 4.
Mr. Newton.
It's a 2.
Einstein.
It's a 5.
How do you feel about your overall score of 11?
Well, it's all right, but I would have hoped for something a bit higher.
Thank you, Mr. Cook.
Okay, now we have a real treat for you. Next up is Mr. Richard James, a naval engineer who accidentally invented the popular children's toy, the Slinky. Over to you, Mr. James.
In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. Thank you, Miss Curie. Now, in 1947, I was working as a naval engineer trying to stabilise ships in rough weather. I was working with tension springs. In the process, I dropped one. Instead of falling to ground and staying still, it started to flip over and over and over and over and over. When I got home that evening, I told my wife Betty my ideas for the children's toy. Over the next couple of years, we developed my ideas. I needed to get the proper steel gauge so it could work. The word slinky means sleek and sinuous. When the toy came out in 1945, none of them sold. So come Christmas, I made a display, and within 90 minutes, we had sold 400 slinkies. The slinky works because of potential and kinetic energy. The consequences of momentum and behaviour consist with compression waves, the latter giving it its distinct motion. I will now perform a song I wrote about Slinky. The Slinky, who wouldn't want a Slinky? You can take it everywhere and play without a care. It's a Slinky. Thank you for listening. I've had a great time.
Well, that certainly was very amusing, Mr. James. Let's see what the judges thought. Mr. Newton first?
That was very interesting. I do love slinkies.
Okay, thanks for the detailed critic. Mr. Fleming next, please.
I absolutely loved it, darling. I always used to love Slinkies as a child. In fact, I still do. The song was lovely and melodic. It's amazing how you wrote it, especially for the show. And didn't just use the one in the advert. It was amazing, superb, and completely fabulous, darling. I hope chance is on your side and you get a 6 from me.
Well, Mr. Fleming, Einstein next.
I have no idea what that had to do with science, but I enjoyed the song though.
Okay, now for the final scores to find out who is the year's winner. Fleming. It's a 6, looking good. Einstein. It's a 5, looking great. You just need a 5 or a 6 to win. Newton. It's a 1. Oh dear. Well, anyway, please welcome onto the stage this year's winner. It's Mr. Percy Spencer.
Mr. Spencer, congratulations. What do you feel of your chances in the lucky dip?
I'm really nervous, but I think I'll do well, as chance has been on my side throughout the competition.
All you need to do is dip your hand in and pull out your prize. Okay, here we go. Enter your hand into the sack. Awesome! You got the Seoul Gold Petri dish, the top prize. How do you feel about that?
Oh wow, I'm thrilled, I'm ecstatic, I'm so pleased. I want to thank everybody who's helped me through this. I want to thank my cat, my dog, my goldfish, my pony, the director, the co-director, the producer, the co-producer, my family, my mum, my dad, my wife, my stepfather, my mum, and my cat as well. And Trot and Chance must surely be on my side.
Thank you for watching The Chance Factor. I'm Marie Curie, and it's good night for me.